All right, Shalom. First and foremost, I'd like to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim, Rakakadash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children listening and learning, to the Bayashadabadat, the house of David. This is Ayashatap from Men of Valor, Las Vegas camp. Salaki, I'm a little under the weather, but through the will and power of Yahweh Shemiel Shai, we're going to push through it. All right? This is just be a quick lesson, Lord willing, be edifying unto the body. All right? And this is going to be the book of Hosea. Salaki, the book of Hosea, chapter 4 and verse 1. And it reads, "Hear the words of Yahweh, ye children of Israel, for Yahweh hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth, nor mercy, nor knowledge of the power in the land." All right, so Yahweh Bashem Yahushai has a problem with you first and foremost, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, whose father's line, all right, the seed goes back to you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, all right, because you are the true children of Israel, all right? And he has a problem with you. I watched this news broadcast on all these Nordstrom flash mob thefts and so on and so forth. You know, robberies and robberies at gunpoint and everything, and how Israel's just wilding. All right, and it's not just Israel, but that Jake is the main one. All right, continuing in this wickedness. All right. But you're going to be held accountable for this because you are held to a higher standard. All right? And matter of fact, let's go ahead and get that standard that Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, all right, gave you. All right? This is going to be the book of Exodus. This is the book of Exodus. And this is going to be chapter 20. And I'm going to start at verse 13. All right, Salakia. I'm going to start chapter 20, and I'm going to read verse 1, and then I'm going to jump down. "And the power spake all these words, saying, I am Yahweh, thy power, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage." All right, so Yahweh, Bashem Yahushai, brought us out of the land of Egypt and brought us out of the house of bondage. All right, I'm going to switch over to chapter 19 first. This is book Exodus. Chapter 19, and start at verse 3, and it reads, "And Moses went up unto Yahweh, called Slakia, and Moses went up unto the power, and Yahweh called unto him out of the mountain, saying, Thus shalt thou say to the house of Jacob, tell the children of Israel, ye have seen what I did unto the Egyptians, and how I bear you on eagle's wings," all right, which is possessive, all right? He bared you, all right, the nation of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans whose father line goes back to that, all right? "And brought you unto myself, all right, therefore being possessive again, all right, you unto myself, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans. Verse 5, "Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenants, then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me." All right? Keep my covenants, keep the law, statutes, and commandments that was set forth. All right? Set forth for who? His people. Who did he bring out? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, whose father line goes back. Treasure unto me, Salakia, above all people. All right, so therefore Yahweh Bashem Yahushai said, you're going to be a peculiar treasure unto me, and be above all people, for all the earth is mine. And verse 6, "And ye shall be unto me a kingdom of priests, a holy nation," which a holy nation, holy means to be separate. All right, for our nation to be separate. Not only would we be above every other nation, but be separate from every other nation. All right? Continuing on. "These are the words which thou shalt speak unto the children of Israel. All right. So you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, whose father line goes back to that, you are the chosen children of Israel. Verse 7, and Moses came and called for the elders of the people and laid before their face all the words which Yahweh commanded him. And all the people answered together and said, all that Yahweh hath spoken, we will do. And Moses returned the words to the people, the words of the people unto Yahweh. All right, so we made a covenant. We made a covenant with Yahweh. As you continue on and read that script, all right, it goes into we made a covenant and we made it with blood. All right, we made a blood covenant where he sprinkled blood on the book and he sprinkled blood on the people. All right, so this is a blood covenant that is for an eternity. All right, and part of that covenant and part of the laws, let's jump down. This is the book of Exodus, chapter 20, and I'm going to start at 13. Thou shalt not kill, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal. All right, so these 2/3 running out of here, running out, going to Nordstrom's, going to CVS, and doing all these things, that's folly in the eyes of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. All right, and you will be judged for it. All right, 2/3 of our own people will perish and die. Zechariah chapter 13 and verse 8. So 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans will perish and die for your folly. All right, for continuing the abominations and bringing shame unto Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai. First and foremost, and bringing shame unto the nation. All right, following after your father. All right, because you are of your father the devil. Matter of fact, this is the book of John, chapter 8 and verse 44. And it reads, ye are of your father the devil, and lust of your father ye will do. All right, and your father right now is a so-called white man. All right, so-called white man, which his biblical nationality is Esau Edom. All right, Esau Edom. And he's your father because how did America come about and how did he get anything that he has gained? Rape, robbery, and murder. Rape, robbery, and murder. And you continue this same projection, and this is the same energy that you project. This is the same energy and the same spirit that was Cain in the garden. All right? Did not Cain kill Abel? All right? Salakia. All right? So you are after your father, the devil. All right? Continuing on. He was a murderer from the beginning. Exactly. He was a murderer from the beginning. Who was the first murderer? Cain. All right? And abide not in the truth. All right? He told a lie. Am I my brother's keeper? I don't know where he is. He just killed him. All right? Continuing on. And abide not in the truth, because there is no truth in him. When he speaketh a lie, he speaketh of his own. For he is a liar and the father of it. All right? He is a liar and the father of it. That's why you continue after his ways. All right? You so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are not supposed to follow after the ways of the devil. All right? But you continue on, and this is what you think, because to you it's by any means necessary. All right? And your means that's necessary is to do as your father doesn't, to follow after this white man. All right? To continue in his stead. All right? But Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai has something for you. All right? Because he will return unto you what you put in. Roughly paraphrasing. This is what you put in. You sow wickedness, you'll get wickedness back. All right? And it's not wickedness on the part of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai, it's judgment. All right? This is the book of Hosea, Salakia, chapter 4, and I'm going to drop down to verse 6. For my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. Because thou hast rejected knowledge, I also will reject thee. All right? Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai will reject you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, 2/3 of you, that thou shalt be no priest to me, seeing, hold on, thou has forgotten the law of thy power, I will also forget thy children. All right, Yahweh Bashem Yahushai will not remember you in your time of need. He will not help you when that bear is going to eat you. When that cop is gonna shoot you down. All right. When your wife or your daughter or your son or yourself is getting raped. All right. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is not gonna be there for you. All right, because you do and continue these abominable acts and these abominable things and bringing Slaki and bringing ungodly things to his name, all right, and committing ungodly deeds, all right. This is the book of Jeremiah. This is be chapter 5 and verse 28. They are waxing fat. They shine. Yea, the overpass of the deeds of the wicked. Slakia. They overpass the deeds of the wicked. All right. They judge not the case, they cause of the fatherless, the case of the fatherless, yet they prosper, and the right, yet in the right of the needy do they not judge. All right, because you 2/3 have gotten worse than the so-called white man. All right, your acts and your deeds have been more abominable than the so-called white man. All right, you continue to do wickedly. All right, Salakia. All right, but you continue to do wickedly. But Yahweh Bashem Yahushai is going to make sure that you 2/3, all right, 2/3 of his own nation will receive, all right, will receive judgment, all right, will receive a recompense. Matter of fact, this is the book of Proverbs, chapter 1 and verse 26, and it reads, I also will laugh at your calamity. I will mock when your fear cometh. When your fear cometh as destruction, and your destruction cometh as a whirlwind. When distress and anguish come upon you, all right, then shall they call upon me, but I will not answer. They shall seek me early, but they shall not find me. All right. So 2/3 of you so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans are going to get the business by Yahweh Bashem Yahushai for being wicked ass 2/3. All right. For being wicked, for doing wickedly. All right. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai gave us laws, statutes, and commandments to live by to the best of our ability. All right. Ultimately, you have to have the ears to hear and the eyes to see. All right. But nevertheless, you continue on doing your wickedness. There is prophets, men out here on the highways and byways calling you back, all right, into remembrance, all right? So you can come back to the laws, statutes, and commandments of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai, but you don't want to hearken unto those, all right? Got a few more scripts, and I'm going to go ahead and close out. This would be the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, and verse 6, all right? And it reads, keep therefore and do them. All right, Salakia. Let me start at verse 5. This is the book of Deuteronomy, chapter 4, and verse 5. Salakia. I'm going to start at verse 4. Salakia. All right, and it reads, but ye that did cleave unto Yahweh, your power are alive, every one of you this day. Behold, I have taught you statutes and judgments, even as Yahweh my power commanded me, that ye shall do, so in the land whither ye go to possess it. Verse 6, keep therefore and do them, for this is your wisdom and your understanding in the sight of the nations, which shall hear all these statutes, and say, surely this great nation is a wise and understanding people. All right. Yahweh Bashem Yahushai gave us this to be above all other nations. All right. This is one of the most important things that he has given us to be above all the other nations is to understand his judgments, his laws, statutes, and commandments. All right. Verse 7. For what nation is this so great who hath the power so nigh unto them, as Yahweh, our power, is in all things that we call upon for Salakia, call upon him for. All right? This is the gift of Yahweh Bashem Yahushai unto the nation of Israel. All right, but only 1/3 is going to receive it. All right, and you can find that, matter of fact, in the same Zechariah chapter 8. All right, chapter 13 and verse 8 and 9. All right, 1/3 of our people are going to be saved, of the so-called Negro, Latino, and Native American whose father line goes back. All right, Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson. I want to give all honor and glory and praise unto Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem, Rachak Kodash. Double honors to our apostles and elders of Great Millstone, to all the Akim out there teaching and preaching this truth with 144% sincerity, to the men, women, and children, the Akim and Akwat, listening and learning, right? To the Bayashadabadat, the house of David. This is Ayashatad from Men of Valor, Las Vegas Camp. To the next time, I say Shalom, Wad Abal Babal, Kam Yasharala.